Okay, that unlocked pretty easily. And now we're gonna pull out. That feels good. Now we're gonna check for hydration. Let's turn this way a little bit more. And I'm gonna pull on. Would you like to be tested first? Okay. So Nuri says he wants to be tested for hydration. So put your arm out. So let me have a little bit more water. So let's test my goal. So that shows a bit of, because if I were to be balanced for right now in the moment without thinking of anything, it would only show a snapshot of what stress I'm feeling right now in the moment. But my goal now takes me out for later today or tomorrow, but now my body is geared up for what is that pattern of stress in relation to that goal. It unlocked, right? So I'm going to, and we're going to double check. I'm going to ask you to push again. That feels pretty good. So what do we do next? We move on to the next muscle. That's right. Okay, you say it. Teres major. That's right. So what are we going to do? How do we test it? Chicken. Like a chicken, he says. Okay, so we're going to bring the arm back. What's our next muscle?
Pectoralis major clavicular.
You want to say that again?
Pectoralis major clavicular.
Pectoralis major clavicular. So that muscle brings the arm up and in, and you're going to push down and out. Push. Oh, that one's not doing so good. Let's check that side. That one feels better, huh? All right, so I'm going to rub a point, neurolymphatic point, and Mary, you want to rub the back points for me?
So, I'm sorry, how do you know which point to rub at what moment? Like I know from here, and here is for my, deltoid.
That's right.
So
because I've been doing this for 37, so the question is, how do I know which point to rub?
Yeah.
And that's because I've been doing it a long time and know all the points, but you would use the book and open it up and say, oh, that's the point.
Is it on your flashcard?
Yeah.
It is on the flashcard also.
Oh, okay, because I'm like,
Okay, Mary, would you like to retest
You
it?
get those first 14 muscles in the class one.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so this muscle is much better now. Thank you very much. Let's go on to the next muscle. Latissimus dorsi. Now we're going to work, I think both of them are off, so we're going to do the spinal reflex. That's right about here. If you want to rub straight up and down on my spine like this, let me show you how to do it for me. Okay, you want to do that on me? Right back there?
Here.
A little higher, right on the spine, a little bit higher. That's it. So he's rubbing on my spine. When both sides are off, we do a reflex that's literally right on the spine. Well, good job. Let's do the next one. So we just go through and test the muscles. If one side's off, we defer to the neurolymphatics. If both sides are off, we do a reflex right in the middle of the spine. Okay? What do we have? Subscapularis is next. Okay. Okay. All right. Our next muscle test is quadriceps. All right. So I'm going to hold on to the side of the wall. It's been a couple months since we've balanced already.
Okay.
Yeah, that feels good. And let's do this side. Nope, that one feels a little mushy. So remember the points? Those are the points on the side of the wrist. You want to rub the back points for me? These are the back points, right? See, you train them young, and then they're there for you for the rest of your life. It's great. All right.
They rub
Jack.
it in the right way.
Ready? That feels better. You want to try that again? Okay, I'm thinking of my goal for tomorrow. You want to try this one again? We'll just double check. Great. Good. Thank you. The next one. You know how to do that? Put down and in. And put the heel. You put your hand down by the inside of the heel. A little bit more forward here. This one. And then your hand. Yep, that's right. They're coming down and in. Okay. And you want to be off the toe. So let's have you a little further back this way. Okay. Ready? Test again. Okay. And let's compare it to this side. You want to stay in front. It's a little bit easier. That's right. To the kidney meridian. The peroneus related to the bladder meridian. I just go on automatic, so I'm kind of, just remind me to tell you what meridian it's related to. So he's gonna give me a hug, and then we're gonna turn around and do the other side. You ready? We'll stabilize here, and we'll pull backwards. Uh-oh, that one's really mushy. All right, so we're gonna rub some points.
Right here.
Yep, you got it. Give him a good rub.
And this is
He's
all
such
based
a
on
good
your stressors.
Go over your shoulder. That feels better. Good. Good job. All right, our next one, gluteus medius. That's a muscle on the side of the hip, and that relates to what we refer to as the circulation sex meridian or pericardium and acupuncture. So, Nuri, I'm going to have you push in, stabilize the opposite one, and you're going to just push down and in towards the center. Mm-hmm. Great. And you do the other side. Could be either in front or behind. Okay, that feels pretty good. Thank you. Our next muscle, anterior deltoid. Does anybody recognize this one?
Oh, you skipped?
Teres minor.
Did we skip teres minor?
Yeah.
Oh, is that the one that's missing? I guess we skipped teres minor in that, so let's do teres minor. Who caught that? Somebody was good to catch it. That's right. Okay, push. Good. Uh-oh. Think you're gonna get hit on that one, huh? All right, so we're gonna rub some points. Just gonna a little bit higher up, right up in here. Okay. Oh, that feels good, Mary. All right, so we rub these for about 10 to 15 seconds firmly.
So whenever you're doing the body, just like here at the opposing side, you would, because you're on meridian points in the front.
The back points, that's correct.
It's honoring their personal space.
Oh, well, I understand, yeah, I
No,
understand
I
that
mean,
part of it.
just for, you know.
But I think my question more so was like, okay, hey, if she's, you know, in the front, right, there's
Mhm.
definitely meridian points in the back, like it's
Correct.
opposing,
Mhm.
like it's just not in the front.
That's
Like,
right.
you would have to go to the back also.
Yeah, we do both front and back
Back,
points,
okay.
that's correct. Okay, anterior deltoid is next. That's okay. I see you got a little, that's fine, just leave it like that. So we're gonna do the arms straight in front. And is the pectoralis major sternal. So that one we start with the arm in front, the thumb down, and we're gonna push up, up and out like that. Oh my goodness, that one is just gone to lunch. That one isn't so good either. Okay, so now what are we gonna do? We're gonna rub on the spine, big kind of medium pressure, not hard pressure, just enough to feel the skin moving across. Okay, let's try that now, Mary. Push up and out. That one feels better. That one feels better, thank you. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you have to go on to the neurolymphatic after that. All right, but so far my body's cooperating. So the next one, the anchor, and you're gonna try to push down. Can you reach me, or do I need to go down a little bit more? Okay. Oh my gosh, that one's off too. This is a good goal. And hold. That's good. So we have one side off. So what are we gonna do this time? These points again. The next one's your favorite, okay. All right, you wanna rub my back points on? Back here? Okay, so he's gonna work on those back points, I'm gonna work on the front points, I'm gonna be thinking of my goal. Was better?
I'm impressed that he's
Fascia
reading those
lata.
muscles so clearly.
He knows the fascia lata. He
Yeah.
likes it, cause that was always the last one to do. You ready? All right, so you can stand in front, face me, and I'm gonna bring my leg up and out, and you're gonna go which direction? In, down and in. Now if you go down on your knee in front, you're getting tall enough, and face me, so kind of come right here. Yeah, right in the middle. And now you can do this hand on this leg. Yep, that's good. And this one. So rubbing my legs.
Now, we did the rubbing before, how long does it last?
Well, that's a really good question. So we did all these rubbing points before, and that was just in the clear. What I'm doing now is I have a specific intention,
goal.
a specific goal. So that changes things.
And one of the things we would say is that every stress has its own energetic fingerprint, its own unique pattern. So when you focus on a different stress, the meridian system is going to go out in a different configuration. And if you hold that configuration and then reset it, you reset it in a way that allows the body physically, emotionally, at a lot of levels to sort of hit the reset button and change how you respond to life.
Okay, all right. So Nuri, now we're gonna check our goal. And that was that I complete my project with ease. Wow, that's much stronger than it was. Thank you. Nuri was reminding me, do we do 1 out of 10? And so he remembered something that I actually forgot in the process, which was, did I do an evaluation of 0 to 10? And you see, this is why you have to teach the kids, because they remember things you don't remember. So if I were to think of that beforehand, I was probably maybe a 7 or 8 before. And now when I think of it,
So you're saying your stress on
my
a scale.
stress on it was probably a 7 or 8. And now when I think about it, I'm thinking maybe a 2,
Wow,
Nice.
maybe a 3, but probably 2.5, yeah. You
You
think
can also
4?
test
Nuri, thank you so much for helping with the demonstration. So easy enough for a child to learn. We just basically use the same process. You want to get your seat over there? Oh, you want to sit in the chair, okay. We use the same process of going through these muscles, but what shows up is a specific pattern of imbalance based on whatever your intention is. If you're not doing it with a goal, then you're just balancing the person for what's showing up in the moment. If you're doing it with an intention, then what reflects in that intention is a different pattern of imbalance. So if I were to now go through and be tested for a different goal, even though I just got my muscles balanced for this goal, it will still probably show a different set of imbalances.
So, okay, so once you know, like he tested you at the end, you felt strong or you came off strong. Is that an indicator that, hey, this class is gonna go like smooth as pie? Like,
So that's a good question. So what it's indicating is the stress around doing that is going to be a lot less.
yes, okay,
And probably when the stress is less, I'll be able to perform better.
okay.
I'll be able to think. I will give you a really simple example. I used to work at the School of Science and Math in Durham, and I was a resident director. So I lived on the hall with 30 girls, and my only kind of, other than the usual responsibilities that came with that job, I had to write evaluations twice a semester for the 30 girls on sort of their psychosocial development and how they were doing and whatever. That's really slow. And one day I said, my colleagues were all getting on the computer the night before at 8 o'clock and done at midnight, and they turned in their, and I'm like, this is like Twilight Zone for me. I mean, I couldn't imagine myself doing it in 4 hours. I would take 2 weeks, solidly. And even though we did it in the clear, just kind of moving and helping for coordination and balance, I thought about my goal of writing quickly, easily, and I think efficiently. And I said that and thought about that while I went through and did the cross call. And in Touch for Health 2, we learn a little variation on that, which goes a little bit more in depth. And I kind of did that one. It's more called an integration cross call technique. For that, 2 or 3 times a year, it was always 2 weeks it took me. So my ability to be less stressed enabled me to think more clearly and more quickly, and the writing came so much more easily. So what what we did was a much more in-depth process, because it's checking out all the meridian systems. And so by doing that, you're lessening all the stress within your system that's being created around thinking of that goal or that stressor.
So, and this is just my thought, so basically, we're trying to get the person out of back brain to front.
Right, so we're on one hand trying to get the person out of back brain into the frontal brain so they can think more clearly, but there's lots of different things that are triggered. You know how you've heard the expression, oh, that person pushes my buttons, right? I think of that in terms of they're pushing our meridian buttons in a sense. Our meridian system is getting out of balance in relation to somebody that's creating stress for us.
Okay, so I guess in my thoughts, it would be, like, if I'm in back brain and that's not rational thinking, right?
Mhm.
Back brain in my mind would be causing the meridians to be off, so if I know that, then I'm like, okay, hey, my goal is to get these meridians in line so that it can have room to get to front brain.
Yeah, be able to think more clearly.
Think clear.
That's right. That's exactly right. When your systems calm down, then your whole body functions
Yes.
better.
Yeah. And one thing that we don't know for sure how it works, is it correlation or causation? Is it meridians being out causes the brain to go out? Or is it the brain being out causes the meridians to go out? Or do they correlate and there's other factors involved? We would probably say that there's other factors and everything interplays with each other. And if you can fix one area, other areas are gonna have an upgrade because of that. And in this work, we start by working sometimes with meridians and sometimes with some of the stuff we teach about how to do brain stuff. So we try to come at it from both areas, but the balance that you just saw Arlene do is about working from the meridians.
Yes, through the muscles. Now, we have about 40 minutes left in class officially, and I'm happy if we run over today, although at 1 o'clock we're gonna pass the candle back to the next time zone, Central Time Zone. So for now, I'd like to invite those of you who have not had a balance before to receive a balance from one of us, and maybe Mary would like to participate, or Larry and I. We have 5 new students and 5 of us here who have done balances before. So we'd like to invite you to receive a balance. And you're welcome to receive it just in the moment and see what shows up in the clear, or have a thought of a positive goal that you would like to have a balance for. And we'll have to either have something to hold on to so we can move the chairs in a little bit. We also have a nice porch outside. You're welcome to balance outside. But I'd like to invite you to find somebody who's done this before who might be interested to give you a balance.
And if you have enough time, you can have them also lead you through doing a balance on them, like Arlene did with Mary. So you can have that experience.
And I'm gonna sit
I
up in
am,
here
and
because
maybe
it's
my
just
very
a right
assistant
comfortable.
help as well.
Right.
Can we
What?
do the ball? Not right
You
now.
can the other way. To the right.
Oh, but this one is it.
Flyers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't have them
She's a
today, but
student
yeah.
also.
And actually, I keep thinking,
Be a lawyer.
about getting together on Tuesday.
And this is Mary. Mary, my assistant.
But
I'm the only one that's always available.
And, would you like to go through the flashcards? I think there's only
She
one,
manifested.
and I will be here to assist you, but I
It's
also
all
have
her
to kind
fault.
of go over and make sure.
We know who to blame it on. It's the reason I hate and I went out and ate Indian food last night. I made it her fault.
All right, so, do you have a goal?
Alright, let me take and get,
We're gonna have,
I'm on.
Larry, there'll probably be one other person that needs a person. Okay, so when you say I'd like to do well, what does that involve? Does that involve being able to remember things? Does that really?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay, I need to be able to remember.
okay. So can you make a positive statement about what that would sound like?
I like to remember,
So we're gonna say it in present time.
Okay.
So I'm really happy.
I'm remembering everything I need to know for civil procedure
Okay.
with ease.
Okay, so I remember I'll show you. So may I test you? Okay, so I'm gonna ask you to hold your arms straight and hold it there. Okay, and so, look, Mary, we're gonna unlock it by pushing together on the belly of the muscle. Whoa, see how that let go?
And you lock it like you know.
And then you do it in reverse. Yeah,
Let's do this
that's
out of the
good.
way.
And And then we're going to have you rub your points. Went in on the navel.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. Let's do the up and downs.
Should we go sideways or up and?
Just a little up and down. It could be a little sideways too, that's fine. And Larry's available. Diane, are you working with somebody? Diane, are you
No,
working?
I'm waiting for her to come out the
Okay.
restroom.
So Larry's available outside if you want to get balance. Everybody's outside because it's such a nice day.
I want to go outside too.
Well, we will.
I'm going outside.
We could go outside. I guess we could take, I guess we could take the,
Oh,
the
because you're
camera.
filming.
No, that's okay. We could go outside.
I want to stay inside or outside.
So, shall we go outside? We have our
And my left hand is kind of off, it hurts, but other than that, I'm okay. Yeah, okay, well, yeah, yeah, right in here.
Now, the thing is still running, but.
It's right here.
Okay, great.
I brought it out here. So Mary, do you want to help with this too? So we have a goal. I remember. Just I remember.
Does it matter right or left?
Procedure with these.
And now, can also check central.
Okay, I got it.
You said that, you said like, getting tired, just like that. From the chin.
From the chin
to
to the chin.
Yes, just a touch or just.
You don't try to get him, and then, I know from you, when I filtered it before.
And yeah, it's a while.
It's like leaving where I
Pushing
am.
together, it's hard, it makes it struggle. I like to check her for hydration. First test her so she gets a feel for your muscle.
I want to feel ready to begin with my own.
You have to stay home first, good. And then ask her to pull it.
Close to 10 time suspense.
Going to the tip of the
I
spine,
feel like I have
just give it.
skill on the line. What I need to get started is just
So, yeah, but I reflect back now, like, his stuff, and then I'm like, I'm so grounded. When I first started,
Well, it'll make me feel grounded.
yeah, because I first started.
It's limited where I am.
Hitting my stomach, kind of, and all that. And of course, now we've got to stretch. Okay, I did that.
Wow, yeah, that's better. Alright, we're gonna use the chair here, so we might as well stand. So, Mary, do you wanna go through the 14? Okay, do you remember the supraspinatus? I'll give the flashcards. That's the one that we go inward. You wanna test that one? I have the flashcards for you.
I know the first one.
Okay, and then ask her to centrifugal while you're testing.
And then you would see the difference.
Test like this.
Lock it and that's fine.
Okay.
Well, just feeling the confidence, I think, to just break free. Okay.
Did you test her?
He went to get the car.
Okay.
Probably about 70.
Correct. This is a comfort zone where I am now, so,
downwards.
So when you imagine breaking free,
Now raise it.
So I'm making my own decisions.
And let's do the right.
Check it out, check it out, something else like that, like that's where we make it.
how would you want to bring that?
Carries me.
Oh, okay.
So this one, you put the back on your back.
Oh, this is the chicken one.
Yeah, and then you just put your elbow back as far as you can stretch.
So, now,
You're testing, holding here.
Feel like I'm being treated like a
that is open,
child. And I'm ready to
so
just,
how do you want to feel?
it was good. That one was
So,
We're gonna aim to be done by 5 to 1, so I just wanna, so that we can just close up with that. So we'll have to take a break soon.
people leave it.
Yeah, maybe,
Yes, 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 absolutely.
So, here's your card.
Yeah.
Could you raise it?
I think it's just being able to see it.
She starts with the arm in front, and then it goes down.
Okay.
Strong
Okay,
left
that
wrist.
okay, but if I was
So you stand here, hold my high turn this way. Turn, come down.
I don't,
And then where you stabilize here,
Oh,
you're
okay, got
pushing
it.
down.
Okay.
She says,
So going down.
like myself, I don't
Yeah.
feel.
And you remind her that they were goal, so you wanna be a little closer in.
So how I want it to be. Doing a good job.
Okay. So first, let's think on a scale of 10 to 10, how is it regular?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Let's even test while you're thinking about the pain from the left wrist. Think about it. Slowly kind of release.
You wanna stand, because you're coming more forward. Stand here, come a little more forward.
Okay, so that means if it's by.
See the difference?
And ask her, how do those feel?
So let's
They're okay.
which is, I think we already did this, but let's do it again. The sentence is also right. Hold.
Result that you wanted.
Oh, okay.
The previous major, so if you can actually move your arm like this.
So you just think of your goal right before he tests you. And his advice thinking of that.
If it was just one side, then let's say it was over here, then you would kind of touch that, and then I would first check it in the hell, I would touch this,
Yeah, I think my knee was
you would touch it, and then I would try again.
Pectoris major clavicle.
So the leg one. And then just push down on this one, you know.
Then we've got into Tracy. Yeah, you have
You're thinking of your goal.
Towards the
And then down.
Okay, so that's gonna be the, government terrace meeting.
Those both feel the same.
Here, and your elbows back.
I'm enjoying working from
Traction.
I talked about
You can actually relax this.
Hold.
That's the one that puts up and out. So you put the heel on the floor, and then he's gonna stand in front. And, yeah, that's right. Good job.
Is it according to elements that you get into?
Here's the other side.
So it's pectoralis major clavicular, so.
Oh, that's a beautiful report. That's fine. Just. Think about your.
So the next is gonna be, and that's where this, the first one was recorded.
You can straighten this.
Psoas is a little tougher. I mean, just psoas.
But that's-
Your whole